So, do we have an understanding?
Get the fuck out of my country. I'm going to feed you your own heart.
Good people, Jack here with another video. So today I'll be checking out a channel that I haven't watched since I was this tall. Now, the Screw Attack, as it used to be called, was one of my favorite channels of all time. Back in the days where I actually owned physical comic books and mangas, this would be like a place where I could go and comment on YouTube. Yeah, which is something that I haven't done in quite a while. It's kind of infuriating actually, because I feel like I'm distancing myself from whom I used to be, for better or worse. But no, seriously, like, it was this wonderful little place where you could go on the discuss with strangers that wasn't Reddit about who your favorite fictional character could beat. And it was awesome. And I do understand that there has been a rebranding for them now calling themselves Death Battle. I believe it was like 2, maybe 3 years ago, because of the whole machinima situation, which affected a bunch of channels. I think also Funhouse suffered for quite a bit from that, and several other channels as well. So they had a rebrand and now they are doing pretty good. So today I'll be checking out a video on Omni-Man vs Homelander. This is the latest release. To say if I were to make a prediction, I think that Omni-Man takes this like straight out of the park. While I do understand that both of them are like Superman clones, one can tank a, what is it, $40 billion for the world's most expensive nosebleed. A laser of an impressive magnitude that, quite frankly, is in itself an amazing piece of engineering. And I should know, I visited CERN, the particle accelerator. Those are expensive, but that shit is cray-cray. Of course, it's comic book stuff, but still, it's crazy. And the other, being Homelander, gets frustrated when some ultrasonic stuff disrupts his hearing. Nah, there's no compare. So, let's jump into the battle. Perhaps I may be wrong. Let's do the analysis part is usually some of the funniest. Oh yeah, Rooster Teeth, yeah.
Omni-Man, the invincible champion from planet Viltrum. Homelander, the world's greatest.
Until Freddie Mercury found him. Look forward to season 2. It's going to be great.
The very first, Superman. But what if absolute power did, in fact, corrupt?
Absolutely.
Answer,
yeah.
We're all screwed. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their
Red
weapons,
Sun
armor,
Superman.
and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Oh! That looks sick! They kind of had the same animation style that the comic had. Not the comic. There were like mini animations that were put out not so long ago. The VODverse, well, anything that dealt with VOD, which is the company, the evil guys in... I don't know why I say that in quotations. They are evil in The Boys. But those were all great. It's amazing to see how much they've gone with the animations. It's insane.
It's a bird. It's a plane. No, it's Omni-Man. Had you going there for a second, huh?
Not really. His name is in the title of the video.
Well, you might be forgiven for mistaking Nolan Grayson for his classic comic inspiration. He's even got
a bit
that
low,
sexy mustache that he's not afraid to hide with terrible CGI. Born on the planet Viltrum, Nolan was sent to Earth to act as
114
a
kilos
defender and spread the enlightenment of his utopian homeworld.
And as his superhero alter ego Omni-Man, there was no one better suited to the task. He saved the world countless times.
Really wants his son to think, Mark! Think!
Worked alongside the Guardians of the Globe, and even married and had a son, Mark.
Life couldn't be better until Mark inherited his dad's Viltrumite powers. That's when Mark found out that his dad was a stinking rat bastard liar.
Turns
Hell
out
yeah.
Viltrum wasn't exactly the peaceful utopia Nolan
They're
promised.
Super
Peaceful in
Saiyans.
the sense that they culled half their population, murdering billions with their bare hands until only the strongest were left, united by a common purpose.
This Viltrumite empire then went on to conquer planet after planet in their home galaxy, murdering any who dared oppose them. So just scratch that whole peaceful part entirely.
And turns out Omni-Man was here to do that same thing to Earth.
You should see Omni-Man versus Vegeta.
Even worse, he's easily the most powerful being on the entire planet.
Imagine combining the raw power of a Kryptonian and the bloodlust of a Saiyan, and what you get is basically a Viltrumite.
Due to their unique DNA, Viltrumites are composed of smart atoms that they can manipulate to achieve superhuman feats, like holding their breath for weeks on end by drawing more energy from the oxygen inside them.
And if I'm not mistaken, also, like, the closer they are to death, the stronger they also get when they recover.
Kinda reminds me of that whole bioelectric aura thing Superman has. That's basically how comic writers bullshit a science-y explanation for his powers.
Except smart atoms make even less sense. How can atomic structure be designated by your DNA? DNA is made of atoms. It's completely nonsensical biological hogwash that I cannot stand.
Uh-oh, comics fans. I'm calling this debunked. Viltrumites can fly, withstand near absolute zero temperatures, and even possess insane healing factors. You know, stuff like getting punched through the stomach, having your guts ripped out, or having your face smashed up in a tomato soup. I don't mean to exaggerate, but Viltrumites in this series get fucked up and
all the time.
Survive.
However, too much trauma to the brain or heart can overtax their healing factors, and intense heat can be especially damaging.
Even the most powerful Viltrumites
can be
killed by extended baths in the spicy hot plasma of a star.
Freddie Mercury.
And because of their abilities, their inner ear vestibular system is far more sensitive than regular humans. Intense sonic pressure will disrupt their fragile equilibrium and even prevent them from flying.
Wait, when did this happen?
Though pushing themselves to their physical limits only ends up making them way stronger. And considering Nolan has been alive and planet conquering for thousands of years, he's easily one of the toughest Viltrumites around. Like, other aliens attacking him will literally splatter their bodies against him. But Mark didn't inherit everything from his dad.
That's when, okay, no, I shouldn't spoil. Damn it, I shouldn't spoil the show.
Despite his alien genes, Mark was raised as a human with our weak, pathetic human values like love and compassion and not brutally murdering the shit out of everyone you see like a maniac. Really made it difficult for Nolan to relate to his kid.
Such as when these aliens invaded Earth. Mark tried his best to minimize casualties and outsmart numerically superior foes.
Nolan, meanwhile, tackled their leader through the portal back to their homeworld, then spent some time systematically annihilating their planet for even daring to take Earth from him. Classic
until they opened a portal for them.
Annihilate is underselling it. Nolan flew so fast that his body lit their planet's atmosphere on fire, creating massive country-sized explosions, with his own body as the projectile.
Omni-Man has flown across galaxies in only a week, survived punching a hole through a planet, and even deflected a meteor the size of Texas.
Assuming that means the diameter of the meteor is equivalent to the distance from the top of the Panhandle to the Gulf of Mexico, that would make it 1,300 kilometers wide.
And there's always this whole point of the point of pressure doesn't cover the surface area. Were you to hit such a meteor, like it would just splatter. Like when they say deflect, it's it's incredible because we always try to apply science into some of these things, right, to make it a bit more relatable, which some comics are good at. And don't get me wrong, some actually do use some real world science to explain the happenings in them, but still.
And weigh over 4.6 quintillion tons, moving at re-entry speeds of over 11,000 minutes per second, hit with enough energy to destroy the moon twice over.
So Omni-Man is strong enough to slaughter those who considered him an ally, the Guardians of the Globe, all to ensure as seamless a transition to the coming Viltrumite rule as possible.
Too bad for Nolan, it wouldn't be that easy, because he'd have to go through his son first.
Mark was horrified by his father's treachery, spurred on by the reveal that Nolan only viewed his mother as a pet, a disposable broodmare, invincible.
That was the most hurtful thing about the show.
And that's when Mark's real
emotional damage
began. Get it? Training? Like the train?
Yes, we get it. It was a good pun. Jesus.
But if anything, it was Omni-Man that learned a lesson about humanity that day.
He may have tried to turn Mark into a Viltrumite, but in reality, as Nolan fled Earth with tears in his eyes, Mark made his father human.
Yep. That's how it goes. And then there's the human who became inhuman. Yeah, it is May. The month has yet to end. It is Mental Health Care Month. Highly recommend that you talk with somebody if you ever have any issue whatsoever with your mental health or anything that kind of mentally eyes you, because it's important to do that, and we live in the best time ever to open up about our issues. So highly recommend that you either sign up to this or just talk to your neighbor, talk to your friends, somebody that cares for you. It's important stuff.
Welcome to Vought International, a multi-billion-dollar American conglomerate whose #1 products are the greatest superheroes on the face of the earth.
That's right, superheroes are real and they're big business.
Imagine a company that possesses a monopoly on popular culture, pumping out movies, TV shows, action figures, and video games constantly,
Disney?
drowning the masses in a slurry of focus-tested nostalgia opium with no end in sight.
Yeah, imagine.
Within Vought's pantheon of gods among men is their premier super team, the Seven, and its leader, Homelander.
He's got the looks, the charm, the Jesus, and most importantly, he's got the power to slaughter all of America's enemies at home and abroad.
Oh,
Probably
yeah.
and shits eagles.
That's
But
still...
Homelander's squeaky clean corporate sheen is only skin deep. Far from the big blue Boy Scout he's marketed as, Homelander is probably the closest thing to Lucifer on Earth.
Bad future Biff.
75 kilos only. Jesus, he's a lightweight dude. I weigh more than the guy. 180? Jesus, John. You're short. And milk. Very important. He likes that high calcium content.
Future, now give him superpowers and media training.
Vought's official story is that Homelander was an alien who landed here as a baby, a tale we're all familiar with.
And one that's total bullshit. Homie was made
Yep.
in a lab with Vought's proprietary super soldier serum, Compound V.
And he was a complete success.
Too much of a success. He was murdering rooms of terrified scientists before his umbilical cord was even cut. In the comics, Vought had to keep a remote-controlled hydrogen bomb strapped to him at all times because they had no idea what else could possibly kill him.
As he grew up, he was subjected to psychological conditioning to make him the greatest and most profitable hero of all time.
Oh, indoctrinated into the true and lovely American
It
way.
wasn't long before he debuted as Homelander, the ultimate defender of the American dream.
Homelander possesses massively superhuman strength, speed, and durability. He can fly at hypersonic speeds, see through walls with X-ray vision, and detect a person's emotional state from just the sound of their heartbeat.
But you know you're done for when he breaks out his heat vision, which is strong enough to slice through crowds of people or split
Yeah.
airplanes in half.
Or screams so loud that it shatters the eardrums of anyone around him.
Those are innocent bystanders whose ears are exploding, by the way. Oh yeah, he totally botched this mission to stop a plane hijacking, so he forced each and everyone on board to die in the resulting crash so they wouldn't reveal his incompetence.
Well, Homelander's powers may be real, but his heroism is a charade. Though
Oh,
he
yeah.
plays his part well, he cares nothing for the peons he's forced to protect.
The only thing he treasures
And every
is,
casualties in
ironically,
between.
his public image. Turns out being raised as a lab experiment doesn't create a healthy person. But don't
You don't
worry,
say.
he eventually cleaned up his act and started a totally 100% healthy sexual relationship.
With goddamn Stormfront. I know that she is a character within the comic book, but the fact that she, or he, in the comics, is named after a literal group of supremacists is like, come on.
Fellow superhero who just happened to be an actual Nazi. Speaking of sex, Wiz, you know how I'm always saying we should figure out how Superman and Lois get busy? Well, forget that, because Homelander proved that they can't when his ejaculation blew his partner to smithereens.
A bit more disturbing details that some may not have wanted to know, but it reminds me of a scene in Smallville where Lana Lang gets the abilities of Clark, and like them banging creates earthquakes.
Probably us.
What do mini earthquakes have to do with you guys?
Smallville was a great show.
Who drew that?
Look, there's no way to sugarcoat this. Considering a human's load has much less mass than a shotgun pellet, it would have to be moving significantly faster to achieve the same kinetic energy. Over 1,500 meters per second, or 4.5 times faster than sound.
Mach
That's right.
4.5.
Homelander can bust a nut faster than the speed of sound. Well, good night, everybody.
Wait, so at the end of the season, he literally killed by standards. Oh, this makes the entire scene less comical and now terrifying.
Ooh, kinda sucks for humanity that they made this dude the most powerful being on the planet and a psycho murderer.
That's no exaggeration. Stillwell even commented that Homelander has proven immune to every weapon known to mankind, no matter how powerful. Humanity literally lacks the ability to kill him.
That'd include nuclear weapons as powerful as the Tsar bomb, which exploded with the energy of 50 megatons of TNT.
Actually, it could have exploded with twice that. But the Soviets who created it were afraid it would irreversibly alter Earth's biosphere and end the world. That's right, we all almost died.
And that's the kind of shit Homelander can shrug off no problem. He's strong enough to throw a jet with one hand and fast enough to outspeed a C4 explosion.
Despite being an emotionally stunted man-child, Homelander is still surprisingly cunning and able to manipulate those around him.
Though it probably wasn't too smart to piss off the world's angriest limey, Billy Butcher. Yeah, turns out
Annoy bro. You don't piss off Annoy bro.
Someone else's wife is not a good idea.
Of note, as unjustifiable as it is, to Homelander, this gave him something he never had before. Some small measure of control over his own life.
Being born Vought's star pupil meant he was under their thumb from the day he was born. His superpowered son was the first thing that was truly his and might be his best option for a new beginning. Or
he could survive.
This episode is sponsored by Mint Mobile. Alright, the combatants are set. We've run the data through all possibilities.
It's time for a death battle!
Wait, that wasn't Homelander. Wait, is that an actual cover from a book? Because that image looks like one of the buff dudes. That is so cool. They made an entire freaking...
Howdy, neighbor.
Jesus.
It's warm. You know, Nolan, Homelander is more than just a superhero. It might be cynical to say this, but he's a brand. And it's very important to me that that brand means something. And if I'm playing second fiddle to some goddamn alien, what's really the point, right? What do you think, Debbie?
This man done goofed. May think that he considered her to be a pet, but there was something a lot more deeper. That was his Saiyan heritage speaking. Nolan actually does care.
So, do we have an understanding?
Get the fuck out of my country. I'm going to feed you your own heart.
Shit. That was a great line.
Country? Seriously? I'm not here for your country.
Oh, I was about to say, once you think about the children. Haha.
Never been hit by someone your own size before? You have to turn with the punch to reduce.
Oh!
Better.
He's getting bodied. Okay. Okay, that town is done.
What's the matter? Are you going to cry?
His public image is ruined.
After I'm done with you, I'm gonna flash right that little shit son of yours! This worthless neighborhood! And every goddamn person you know!
Remember what I promised you. Now swallow.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, kids!
Whiz,
Holy
if there's a gun,
shit.
It sure seems like he was working out some aggression there.
Despite Homelander's dominance within the world of the boys, he's a big fish in a small pond. Relatively.
Indeed.
Homelander can move faster than sound, while Omni-Man can move faster than light. Homelander can survive a nuke, while Omni-Man can shatter the moon twice over.
To be fair, Homelander did have a couple of abilities Omni-Man didn't, like his heat vision.
Scream
And while Viltrumite
yeah.
healing factors have failed against continuous exposure to the heat of stars, that still took quite a bit of time, and there's no reason to think Homelander's heat vision was anywhere near that hot.
Hell, Nolan's tanked heat vision from the superhero means
Oh shit! No way! Okay, my recent runs, or at least the recent runs that I've read on Invincibles, were like from 2016 in the least. Dude, he fought him! Okay.
Supreme before, who can vaporize people in an instant.
Even if it was hot enough, Omni-Man's superior speed would cut him off before he could do any lasting damage. Similarly, despite being able to disrupt his equilibrium with his supersonic screaming, Homelander wasn't strong enough to capitalize on it in any meaningful way.
Plus, while Homelander is pretty devious when the situation calls for it, Omni-Man has been fighting and conquering worlds for thousands of years. He comes from a warrior culture based on fighting. Homelander, on the other hand, comes from a test tube and never had to push himself as a fighter because he was always so much stronger than everyone else.
And that's the key difference between them. One is a warrior, and the other is a bully. Homelander was never going to give up easy, but Omni-Man's skill, power, and Viltrumite heritage earned him the win.
When it comes to Superman knockoffs, Homelander had to eat his heart out.
The winner is Omni-Man.
Omni-Man was like, boy, do you even know the meaning of genocide? I was born into it, molded by it. I only had a family until I was a mere man. Oh, Magneto. Oh, that could be interesting. But, I mean, it's Magneto. He can turn the magnetic field and shit. He's powerful. Not gonna lie, Tesso is cool, but it's Magneto. No, like seriously, that was an awesome video. It was really dope. Props on you guys for doing an amazing job. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video, and if you are not familiar with that battle, please highly recommend that you go and subscribe to them and watch some of the stuff. It's amazing. And of course, if you like this video, you know what to do. Hit that like and also subscribe button. And of course, leave your suggestion in the comment section below. With that said though, I wish you all to have a wonderful day. See you guys next video. Bye.